Go and you beat Western Michigan, who we haven't beaten in a long time. It's a great win for us. And you know what? I've been here so long, I got friends, and look what I got, because we beat Western Michigan. A box of Carlos Fuentes Opus X1. I mean, this is Steve's cigar, man. And he signed it, too. See, you got friends in high places when you win, right? Everything's good when you win, Jim. You don't get one of these stuff. It's great to beat Western Michigan, man. It's great. And I love Steve Hawkins. He and I have been going at it for years. I told him before the game that we were reminiscing a little bit. We beat maybe the mid-90s, the first time I ever coached against him. He was at Quincy College. And we played them in the NCAA tournament. First time Oakland had ever been to the NCAA tournament. We were at a 20-point underdog. We went there and we beat them. And it's probably the only time, he says we've beaten them since, but I don't remember. But it's probably the only time we've ever beaten, or I've coached a team that's beaten one of his teams. But it was probably the single most important victory in Oakland history, because our administration at that time completely changed their opinion of basketball. When we went to a Division II NCAA tournament for the first time and won, because of the media that we got, because we were just a Division II team that nobody cared about. And all of a sudden we're winning NCAA tournament games, and all of a sudden Free Press News, all those people were here. And it changed the path of Oakland basketball. And so Hawk and I talked about that before the game, and I told him they've beaten us 4 in a row, twice in the arena, and to beat his team is quite an accomplishment for us, because I think he's one of the top coaches there is. So it was really, really good win for Oakland tonight.
Questions for the student athletes, please?
Martez, what do you think the key was for that run to start off the second half, up 4 going into the half? And
well, we just got to, stay playing defense and being aggressive, as Coach always say, and rebound the ball, because he was big on rebound the ball this game with this team. So we did them 2 things, like 3-4 minutes left, and that's how we came through with it.
And maybe the insertion of Isaiah Brown, maybe that helped fill that round too.
Yeah, about the post entry passes, everybody's talked about this would be Clark and obviously Martez and everybody in the guards, but you got the ball at some crazy angles. How underrated, I guess, is that? And working with these guards, that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, we've been big on that ever since the season started, on having that connection, guards to bigs, being able to enter the ball to the post. So we've been working on it. Stevie's a great feeder to the post, along with other guards. So just working on that every day in practice has helped us.
Jalen, I know it's still so early, but 2 games in, plus an exhibition without K, where are you guys seeing the progress filling the void that he left, and what did you see tonight as far as the balance and being able to make up all the scoring you lost from him?
Yeah, well, it's tough to replace a guy like that, man. He was a one-headed monster, but I feel like we have a 3-headed monster at the guard spot now, with Stevie, Nick, and Sharon being able to bring the ball up. And also Braylon, so 4-headed monster. I don't know. I feel like they're getting better every game. They're going to grow, throughout the season and learn how to, adjust the pressure. Like I just said, work on how to, enter the ball in the post. Just little things such as that has helped us.
Martez, where's the defense velocity coming from? It looks like a different team in the half court defensively. At least 2 games, but can you talk that a little bit, what you see?
No, like I said, we executed with like 3 or 4 minutes left. It was all right the first half, but kind of let off the gas a little bit coming out the second half. So we just wanted to get back to it, because Coach wanted this game as bad as everybody else. So we just trying to execute for him and get that done tonight.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thanks, guys. Questions for Coach?
Coach, you started off with a 17-4 run in the second half. Must have been a heck of a halftime.
No, it's like I told you there. The shooting's the last thing I worry about with this team. Now, I am a little concerned. We, in the exhibition game and the 2 regular season games, in uniform, in front of people, we've struggled in the first half shooting. And it's almost like, I got to make one, And then once they get tired and they don't think anymore, then they start making them. this team can really shoot. 11 deep we can shoot. And so I don't worry about that. I knew that's going to happen. In the scrimmage against Central Michigan, we shot it from the get-go, but there were no fans there for that. You know, there was no hype for that. And I think that we're seeing that the kids are really hyped. And as the year goes on, you know, we'll get hyped for the Detroit game, you know. But for the most part, we'll learn to handle that. And we'll start making shots early in the game too. So the last thing I worry about are shots. Our defense, I think, kept us in. You know, we thought we did a good job on the boards. To that team, they missed 40 shots, and they only got 11 offensive rebounds. That's really good, especially a team that big and that lives on physicality and rebounding. So I was really pleased with that.
Coach,
go ahead.
About halfway through the first half, you had referenced that you felt the game looked like a pickup game and that you really wanted the team to get into the flow of the offense. What challenges did you see in terms of the team getting into the flow of the offense early in the game?
Well, everybody wanted, like what I just said, they all wanted to make a shot. It was like we were heat checking to make a shot, you know, and we can't do that. Cumberland came off the bench and within one possession is firing up a shot. And Javen, I told him, you know, Javen, I'll take that shot, but not one possession into the game. You've been in 5 minutes, then take that shot. And so we kept doing that, you know. I got 11 guys in the first half. In all my career of coaching, I've never done this before. We've done it in every game. I got 11 guys that can play, and it's going to take some time. We got guys that are playing roles. Xavier's playing a role he didn't play last year. You know, Sharon was playing point. We had a lot of mix and matches. Sharon's now the assassin. You know, he's the guy. Hooper's gone. It's Sharon. I mean, excuse me, it's Martez. And getting Martez to shoot when he's supposed to shoot. And then he shoots with a minute to go in the game. You know, so he's not understanding. But he will. He will. We'll play enough and get enough times. We made a bunch of mistakes down the stretch, and it didn't hurt us tonight, but we'll learn from it. The shot Stevie took with 2 minutes to go was, you know, he learned from it. We fumbled the ball and missed layups, and we still were able to win by, you know, 17 points. So there's a lot that we can improve on, and that's good feeling for a coach. You know, if we had played perfect and won by 17, and you're thinking, how are we playing this good this early? But there's a lot to improve on, and that's what I'm excited about.
Coach, as good as your teams have been offensively, where does this team's spurtability rank? That's a word we made up during the broadcast.
I read that a coach in the league used that word last week, so I wondered what that word meant. Too soon to tell, Neil. I know in practice we feel we can score. I think that this is a team that's, you know, we probably aren't going to lead the nation this year because we can wear people out and we're long and athletic and we can really guard the ball with multiple players. So that's going to slow games down. And I think as we get into February and March, I think you're going to see us scoring more points then because we're still fumbling around and finding our way. And then into next year with everybody back and that, I think you'll see this group of kids eventually be a 90-a-game team. Right now, I'm happy with 77 and 78 as long as we're only giving up 70 and 60. I'm really happy with that. I think when you're as athletic as we are and the game gets ugly, that's good for you. You know, and I thought that game got ugly in the first half. But when you're as athletic as we are, you usually win those games.
You mentioned Isaiah Brock, Greg.
The turning point of the game.
Yeah.
Turning point of the game. And I talked to the team afterwards about being ready. He played 30 seconds in the first half. And Xavier was struggling, had his head down. Isaiah went in. It says he didn't get any blocks, but he must have affected 6 shots. And then his head was above the rim, and then he comes down and wheels by the big guy and scores like he looked like he knew what he was doing, and I know he doesn't. So that and what happened when he did that is we made 3 straight threes after that. He juiced the team, and that's what a guy coming off the bench has to do. If I had a game ball, he'd have gotten it.
Coach, speaking of Isaiah Brock, I'm trying to remember the last time you had a guy defensively that's capable of doing what he's doing. I mean, he brings something to the party that not a lot of people do defensively.
Benson.
Right.
Keith Benson was the last guy that could affect a guy dribbling in going, I don't want to shoot it. You know, what Isaiah did tonight, though, is he executed our defensive fundamentals. So we're going to guard the ball. They go into the big guy and we hand it off. This is the way we're going to guard. He didn't get a lot of reps this weekend with the first team leading up to that. But yet, when he went in the game, usually guys like that make a mistake. You got to yell at him. Come on, Isaiah. You know what we're supposed to do. He didn't. He executed exactly how we wanted to play that handoff, and that. I mean, they didn't score for 5 or 6 straight possessions because there he was, and so it was very pleasing.
Coach, how big of a role do you see for Xavier when you talk about? I mean.